Hello lovely people, welcome to the Geek Cupboard. I am Penge and welcome to day 14 of our Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown, where we have a nice cup of tea and a little bit of a chat. So let us open up the Advent tea calendar and have a look. Right, number 14 is up at the top just here, so let's get into this one. Now, of course, we kind of know what this is going to be, unless they've thrown a bit of a curveball and they've kind of changed things around a bit. I'm fully expecting this to be superstar anise, but let's just have a little look. Let's have a little look. And yes, okay, it is indeed the superstar anise tea that we've, of course, had before. But yeah, okay, I mean, it's fine. It was okay, as I recall last time. Brew for between 4 to 5 minutes. That is absolutely not a problem. But of course, to do the brewing, we're going to have to go to the kettle. And here we are, back in the Geek Cupboard with our freshly brewed cup of superstar anise tea. And we kind of know the deal with these teas now, because of course we're looping around the same teas that we've already seen in the calendar previously. So this is the sort of aniseedy tea that we saw on day 2 now, of course. Yeah, so we saw this before. I mean, yeah, it's an aniseedy sort of tea. If you like aniseed, you're probably going to like it. If you don't, then I doubt you will. I mean, yeah, okay, in terms of smell, you can smell the aniseed in it. And when you taste it, it's okay. It's not sort of, super strong aniseedy flavour. You're not sort of overpowered by it. But, it's got an aniseed flavour. So, yes, if you like aniseed, you're probably going to like it. But, I mean, it's kind of, it's a black tea, sort of green tea, which I think gives it a little bit more, it's a bit bolder. It's got a bit more sort of flavour behind it. But, yeah, I quite like it. I like this. There's a few in this sort of Advent calendar that I've not been overly fond of. But, yeah, this is one of the, it's quite nice. It's not a sort of, it's not too strong. It's not got a really strong, overpowering flavour. It's just quite nice. It's a nice, lovely, warming, sort of Christmassy tea. So, yeah, I shall continue to sip away at this. Let's go over to today's question. This was asked by Ludity and Tony D and probably some other people as well, because I think, yeah, quite a few people sort of commented after I kind of composed the list. But they have asked, in roundabout sort of ways, what is your game of the year? Okay, so I had to go back and have a look at things. I mean, there are a few things that I've taken it as the game of the year of something that came out this year. Because something that we've played this year doesn't really sort of, I don't know if that counts or not. So, for example, we finished RimWorld this year. And RimWorld is brilliant. RimWorld is a completely, utterly, astonishingly fantastic game. But it didn't really come out this year. So it feels a bit weird going, yay, my game of the year is RimWorld when it came out, 3 years ago, whatever. It just seems a bit strange. So I think I've got ones that have come out this year or been launched into early access, or I don't really know. I've kind of made a set of rules, but then looking at the list of things I've written down for sort of good games, I might possibly have broken my own rules for this. But okay, I mean, let's have a look. I mean, game number one that sort of sprung to mind. This isn't the best one. These are notable mentions. There is a clear winner, but game number one of a notable mention. Yes, Your Grace. That was really good. I did thoroughly enjoy playing Yes, Your Grace. It was brilliant. It was really good. It was a very exciting story, and who knew what was going to happen? There was intrigue and murder and drama, and it was all very wonderful indeed. So that was up there. Not the best, but certainly up there. Fall Guys. Fall Guys is just brilliant. It's just a joyous, raucous cacophony of fantasticness that just sort of is wrapped up in a rainbow and then thrown at your face. That sums up Fall Guys there. It's just brilliant. It's really, really enjoyable. I'll admit, I haven't played it much. I haven't played Season 2 yet. I played it quite a bit early on, and then Season 2 didn't really get round to playing. So, because I know they've got extra bits in it. They've got a thing called, they've got Big Yeetus, which is like a giant hammer that just comes down and sort of smacks people. So they've added all the extra little sort of silly bits and bobs in. But yeah, I have enjoyed Fall Guys. I mean, there was a demo game that I thought was really good. Maybe it's not my game of the year, but it's certainly a very enjoyable game, was The Tenants. The Tenants was really, really good. I like that an awful lot, and I'm looking forward to that coming out into a more sort of complete release, because that was very good indeed. So, I mean, The Tenants, yeah, is up there. Timberborn. Now, maybe, thinking about it, I think maybe Timberborn came out toward the end of last year, possibly, but certainly its sort of first fully complete, sort of proper working version came out this time round, this year. So, Timberborn, it's really good. It's really, really good. It looks pretty and it plays very well, and they're developing it quite a lot. They've added loads of stuff in since we last played. They've added sort of dams and explosions and all sorts of stuff in. And given that, it's about beavers, I think maybe dams are probably quite an important thing. So I imagine you can do different things with the dams. You can probably get power out of them or whatever. I do not know. Other games. Hidden Through Time. I really enjoyed Hidden Through Time. I know it wasn't exactly the most advanced sort of strategic game, but I thought it was really lovely and charming and really nice. And I have sat, my son played through it all. And, I've sat with him and played a few bits. Maybe got nice memories going on there as well to influence my decision. But yeah, I liked Hidden Through Time. I thought it was sort of suitably adorable and fun. MMORPG Tycoon 2. Now we played that a little while back. Maybe now it's going to be changed quite a bit. When we played it, some bits were really good. Some bits were a little bit raw. They were a little bit sort of, unpolished and unfinished. But I think if they keep working on that, and, developing it and taking on board feedback, that could be something very, very special indeed. It was hugely popular. It's massively popular. So yeah, that I think would go up there as one of the games of the year. Help will come tomorrow. We only had a quick look at this, really. We only looked at this a tiny bit. We had no real success, but that was really good. I did enjoy that an awful lot. So much so that I actually went back and played that, not on camera. Just played it, on my own, in my own time, when I actually found a spare bit of time, when I wasn't doing real life stuff or recording stuff. Went back and I actually did complete it. I completed it. I had to notch it down to easy mode to you're not very good at surviving in the wilderness mode, but we got there in the end. However, I think that my game of the year is, we've played a lot of games. We've played a lot of games, a lot of indie games, a lot of smaller games. We've played some bigger games. The game of the year for me, I think, is Crusader Kings 3, because it's just magnificent. Now, I never played Crusader Kings 2. Imagine if I'd have played Crusader Kings 2, I would have absolutely fallen in love with that. And then Crusader Kings 3, I would have been completely blown away by. But I never really played 2. I played it for a few minutes and I got really confused because I couldn't work out where my troops were. Because I come from Civilization where your troops are always on a map. They're just standing there as a unit in a square, in a tile or whatever. Whereas, Crusader Kings, they move around. You sort of raise your troops up when you need them and then you stand them down again. So I was a bit confused when I played Crusader Kings 2 for the 10 minutes that I gave it. So I wasn't expecting a key for Crusader Kings 3. Just sort of popped in. They said, "Hey, you've played Imperator Rome all those months ago. Would you like to play Crusader Kings 3? Here's a key." And it was a bit... And it was brilliant because I was on holiday at the time. I was on one of these sort of, the short sort of UK breaks that we could have at that point. So I got it and I was a bit... Well, I'm away from my machine. There was an embargo. So when we got back, I went, right, brilliant. Okay, I know we've got stuff to unpack. But anyway, right, I've got on the computer. Bye. And I went on the computer and played Crusader Kings 3. I could quite happily play that an awful lot. It's a wonderful story generator. It's just really good. And all sorts of crazy stuff happens. And, you don't win everything. You don't win all the time. Bad stuff probably will happen to you. You could have the best character in the world. And the game will go, yeah, do you know what? They've been murdered, or they've got a terrible illness. This bad thing happened. That bad thing's happened. It's just brilliant. And you can make your own wonderful stories and tell your own tales. It's very, very good. And I know it's not an indie game. I know it's not a little game developed by a team of 2 or 3 people or whatever. But yeah, I think the team that have worked on it have put an awful lot of effort in. And yeah, there are some bugs, but it's being updated an awful lot, Crusader Kings 3. There's loads of updates and patches going on. And I just really enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoy playing Crusader Kings 3. I could quite happily play that for I could play that for an entire weekend. Like I would do when I was younger. I could just sit and play a game for just hours. I could wake up in the morning and play it until, bedtime, and then wake up the next morning and do it again. It's really, really good. I thoroughly enjoy it. And that, for me, I think, is my game of the year. But, the other ones have been very good as well. And yeah, things like RimWorld. We finished that this year on the channel. We didn't finish it. We didn't start it, this year. We finished it this year. But again, does that count as a game of the year? I don't know if it counts as a game of the year. It's certainly one of the most enjoyable and fun games I've played, but I'm not counting it as a game of the year because RimWorld has been out for quite a long time now. So yeah, I think we'll say Crusader Kings 3, but yeah, honourable mentions too. Yes, Your Grace, Fall Guys, The Tenant, even though it was only a demo, Timberborn, Help Will Come Tomorrow, MMORPG Tycoon 2, and Hidden Through Time. And there might be some others as well that I've completely forgotten. But yeah, I think, that'll do. That sort of, that nails it there. Crusader Kings 3, officially declared the Geek Cupboard's Game of the Year, which is all sorts of wonderful. So I'm going to go finish my tea, which is very nice. I shall go and finish this. And yes, we shall wrap things up for now. So thank you very much for joining me in the Geek Cupboard for day 14 of our Fes-tea-ve Advent Countdown. And I will see you next time. Charlotte was murdered by Martin. Do we need to arrest Martin? Aaron was murdered by Martin. The mighty defense rectangle has been completed. We've crashed into a ship over there. Hello, pirates. They're just firing bits of explosive junk. It's killing quite a lot of pirates. Connor was strangled by Martin. Somebody stop him. I'd love to stop him.